Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nurmadiha binti Abdul Mujib with metric number 263796.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Siti Nur Syamimi binti Muhammad Rahimi and my metric number is 264108.
Hi, my name is Nurul Najiha binti Zulkifli and my metric number is 265696.
Assalamualaikum and greeting to everyone. My name is Nur Emilia binti Basaruddin and my metric number is 265714.
William Josh Ouchi is an American emeritus professor at the UCLA Anderson School of Management. He is an author and expert in the field of management and organizational system. He was born on 28 June 1943 and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. In 1965, William Ouchi studied a Bachelor Administration in Political Economy at William College. In 1967, MBA in Business Administration from Stanford University and 1972, PhD in Business Administration at University of Chicago. Other than that, he was also a distinguished professor in Management and Organizations at UCLA Anderson School of Management in Los Angeles, as well as the Sanford and Betty Sigoloff Chair of Corporate Renewal, and he retired in 2017. He became well known around the world as a result of his publication. Throughout his life, he had received several teaching awards, including the UCLA Medal of Teaching Excellence and other awards such as the Asian Woman Warrior Award and the Grand Prix des Meilleurs Livres de Management for his book, Theory Z, How American Business Can Meet the Japanese Challenge. Theory Z, How American Enterprise Can Face the Japanese Challenge in 1981 was written by William Ouchi. In this book, he demonstrates how American corporations can meet the Japanese challenge with a highly effective management style that aims to change business in the 1980s. Theory Z, according to William Ouchi, it focuses on the employee commitment to the organization by delivering a work for life and a heavy emphasis on the employee's well-being, both on and off the job. Theory Z employees have a strong desire to be embraced by the employer and place a high emphasis on a job environment in which families, communities, and tradition and social roles are valued as much as the work itself. One of the most important pieces of this theory is that management must have a high degree of confidence in its workers in order for this type of participative management to work. Theory Z also emphasized the importance of staff being generalized rather than expert, and of increasing their understanding of the organization and its operation through task rotation and continuous training.
Theory Z is a management theory that deals with corporate culture, quality, and how workers see their management in terms of their range of views, values, and concepts. It was introduced by William Ouchi, a management theorist who advocated a concept that included Japanese elements while also emphasizing American culture tradition. The concept of American business activity is known for its individualism, which stands in opposition to the Japanese belief in collectivism. The Japanese market has a set of ideas regarding human behavior that contrasts in many respects with how corporate behavior is commonly viewed in the United States. The American management model is popular for its short-term jobs, emphasis on specialization, internal decision-making, and very direct supervision by managers. The Japanese business theory, on the other hand, is noted for its emphasis on long-term relationship, aversion to risk, and a preference for group thought. Nowadays, both management models are fighting to stay afloat in a competitive marketplace. Theory Z is an advancement over traditional practices encompassing both American and Japanese industry practices. Theory Z underlines the need to have employees become generalists instead of specialists. It views job rotation and ongoing training as an enhancement of company knowledge and process for employees while building a range of capabilities and skills. As the time available is much longer for training, jobs and mastering the complication of the operation of the company, promotions tends to be slower. It helps to develop a more committed, loyal and permanent workforce which benefits the company. Meanwhile, employees are given the chance to develop their careers in one company in full. When employees reach a higher management level, Theory Z is expected to be used to educate, train and develop other employees similarly. The Theory Z of Ouchi makes specific employee assumptions. One assumption is that they are working closely and cooperatively with their colleagues. This means that employees are strongly interested in membership. Another assumption is that employees expect reciprocity and company support. The Theory Z shows that people want to keep a work-life balance and appreciate a workplace where things like family, culture and traditions are just as important as work itself. Under management of Theory Z, employees have a feeling of cohesion not only with other employees but also a sense of order, discipline, and moral obligation to work hard. Finally, Theory Z presumes that employees can be trusted in adequate management support to do the job of their maximum potential and to look after their well-being that of others. Theory Z is not about the behavioral patterns of a single supervisor, but about how organizational culture leads to how the whole organization is managed. The key features of Theory Z organization culture are strong company philosophy and culture, long-term staff development and employment, consensus in decision-making, generalist employees, holistic concern, formal control with formalized measure, and individual responsibility. Some of the American companies decided to experiment with Japanese management technology, Theory Z, which William Ouchi proposed. At the same time, many American companies are already using the management technique and are ready to change attitudes and behavior. The competitive edge of Japanese-style management technology was not about what the product they produce, but about how they manage, engage, strengthen, and highly productive their employees. In order to improve employee morale and productivity, some US businesses have used the management Theory Z, such as IBM, Kodak, Union Carbide, Procter & Gamble. Japanese management usually has multiple features. First, employees are not recruited by a company not the same as employees in the United States for their working life. Bounce from businesses to business, for example. Secondly, Japanese management tends to use implied control rather than explicit control, which means that action should be suggested instead of action. For instance, rising wages depends on seniority and experience, generally collective decision-making and collective responsibility. The management group discussion about a company and decides by consensus on action. Next, the US company adapted participatory management theory and improved job design for its companies. Last but not least, America's corporate Theory Z management and American management were introduced and adapted in their company in order to boost productivity. Korean management is also inspired and applied in company by Theory Z. Samsung, Hyundai, Lucky Gold Star, for example. Samsung satisfied the management properties of Theory Z, such as length of employment, decision-making method, and responsibility. Samsung is a company for which people are renowned, which offers tough careers and high wages for their employees. Samsung's entry competition for university graduates is intense and many are working in Samsung. This shows that Samsung's employees are satisfied and competing for workers yet consider themselves to be a lifelong job. Next, in Samsung, a member from the bottom of the organization was involved in taking decisions. Samsung applied the consensus culture of decision and the Rinji process. Samsung Group Chairman believed that a complete decision will result in sufficient information and integration of the opinions and expertise of numerous people. He says that the terms personal decision making had never been used in an organization. Samsung never uncertainly places responsibility and emphasis on clear responsibility by system like the responsibility center and the MBO like individual reward system. The group chairman said that if the manager does not perform satisfactorily due to negligence, he must take responsibility. Job rotation, training, and individual responsibility are all used by Theory Z companies. Employees are given the opportunity to learn about all aspects of the business and gain insight into each job in order to develop their skill set. Employees' performance increases over time as a result of an emphasis on preparation. Workers are given enough time to develop, which contributes to skill development and progress. This is both in the organization's best interest and necessary for the employees to contribute to the company growth.
Okay, the first contribution of Z management is it provides lifetime employment, by which it creates cooperative work relation where the employees work interdependently for a long period of time together in the organization, which spurs employees work related that create intimate and cooperative work relation with their peers, superiors, and also subordinates. Besides, Z management also cultivates strong corporate culture and philosophy because it provides cohesive implicit control through company internalizations of visions, missions, and goals to the employees as a reminder of the main objective of the organizations. Thus, the company use an explicit control mechanism to administer and supervise employee work performance, which strive for employee productivity and contributions through rewarding, directing, monitoring, and penalizing. Okay, for instance, the company that employs that management would use rewards such as giving bonuses, flexible working hours, or maybe giving recognition for good work performance to the workers. Maybe otherwise, if the employee is breaking the company rules and regulations, they will be penalized in terms of receiving warning letter, or maybe they will be put under monitoring period. Furthermore, the holistic orientation of the Z management also promotes employee interest, well-being, and loyalty, which allows the worker to stay organized within the industry. Besides, lifetime employment has resulted in greater prevalence to the group decision-making and work responsibility, as it is collective for Z management. The decision-making process emphasizes consensus formation for the best interest of the company. Lastly, Z management accentuates collective work performance and group decision-making, where the workers' career are characterized by proper evaluation and job promotion according to well-established performance criteria to their job scope. This is because Z management emphasizes continual training, building varieties of skills, and increasing knowledge to employees, as the management believes that by giving relevant training, an employee will be able to adapt to a new job role. When works are being done collectively, the company's best interest is kept well.
Now, I'm Emilia will explain more about the disadvantages of Theory Z. This theory put forward the best features of Japanese and American style of management. However, this theory also imposed some critical challenges to the organization. First is the provision of lifetime employment to employee. It will develop strong bond to the organization. However, it fails to motivate employee with higher need for career upward mobility due to tight restriction and higher requirement for job promotion in Z management. Employee may also leave the organization when better employments are offered to them by some other enterprises, as it merely provides job security but not work satisfaction or self-fulfillment in career development. Second is slow evaluations and job promotion for employee. Theory Z deciding on a system for slow evaluations and job promotion for employee because it tamed down the process for career path. The slow evaluations and job promotion would frustrate employees who would like to work independently and expect that they deserve quick promotion. Usually, promotions in Z management are based on seniority, which make that the employee have to keep waiting for their chances of career advancement. Third, Theory Z has incurred more costs for management and work supervision. The enforcement of internal and external working mechanism has increased the cost for management, such as personnel reward, conflict resolution, and cost retention for qualified personnel. The supervision of overall employees' performance has also incurred additional costs to the organization by providing mentoring, coaching, and delegating task assessment. Fourth, incompatibilities to some preconditioned workplace. Theory Z is based on Japanese and American advanced management practices. These practices have been evolved from Japanese and American unit culture, and this culture is essentially different from other mainstream culture. Thus, implementing this system within other culturally environment would pose some problem to attune to some conditioned workplace. For instance, this Theory Z collective integration in workplace that relies on team performance and emphasize on formality during working hours is difficult to be implemented in individualism workplace that promote flexible working hours. Fifth, Theory Z deal with holistic concern because it promotes collective working culture and decision making in the organization, in the respect for diversion in views, opinions, and value. This assumption is actually quite difficult to be implemented in certain countries, such as India, which has a low cross-cultural diversity. Thus, it would impose some problem and conflict resulted from racial favoritism, discrimination, racism, and dishonesty to be noted in the management practice. For instance, an Indian company that has tried implementing the idea of Theory Z management, notably in company like Maruti Suzuki Trading India. This India-based company have direct relation with Japanese organization, namely Suzuki Trading, and the workplace is designed on Japanese pattern by having a common canteen, a common uniform for both officers and the workers. Thus, the ideas of implementing Ouchi's idea of lifelong employment assimilate a common work culture and participative decision making, and etc. in order to provide cushion for employee in the organization. However, due to several complicating problems that has been embedded in the social norm, such as the differences in racial caste, authoritarian leadership by the top management had caused strike and labor unrest in that company. The incompatibilities of Japanese working culture to India common background has created a holistic concern that often come in the way of transforming this theory into a concrete action plan by other part of the world.
In conclusion, the adoption of Z management is the best practice for higher utilization of resources and labor force. Moreover, Theory Z goal was to increase employee loyalty to the company by offering work for life with a strong emphasis on the employee's well-being, both on and off the job. Theory Z management also provide incentive for rational decision-making and conflict resolutions to the extent of the Japanese management idea, such as reduce the labor market transaction cost, reduce the cost of non-cooperations, increase worker effort, increase employee work performance, improve membership behavior, and reduce inert areas in comparison to American management theory. Thank you.